Today we're talking about the brand new Prime Wireless SoundBase Pro from SVS. Now this is a 2-channel integrated amplifier with some really cool streaming options and a ton of connectivity. So here in my living room setup, we've got a 85-inch Hisense U7H TV that we just got installed recently, and I've got my older Klipsch RF7 version 3s. Down here you can see I've got an old school Harman Kardon 3490 2-channel receiver, and this is not even using the internal amplification. I'm using it as a pre-pro, and that is coming over to an Accurus A200 amplifier. That's 200 watts by 2. And then right above here, we have a really old school Apple Airport Express. And so I'm really excited about this item here because this potentially could replace all of this gear. I'm gonna let Larry Magoo from SVS tell you all about the features that he shared with me at CEDIA 2022.
This is called the Prime Wireless SoundBase Pro amplifier. And the SoundBase Pro amplifier has all the same feature set as what we talked about with the speakers, but here, instead of being its own ecosystem inside speakers, you supply the speakers, or we can supply the speakers.
Sure, absolutely.
And this is just a phenomenal 2-channel amplifier. And with that, you get a 300 watt Class D digital amplifier, 150 watts by 2, which is enough to really power anything.
Sure.
We've got it connected with our Ultra bookshelves here. We've had it on our Ultra towers, some other manufacturers, very large towers, bookshelves, however you choose. I've got them on a pair of Prime towers at home as well. It's just a really functional 2-channel experience. But where this one kind of differs from the Prime Wireless Pro is this is a product we're going to see a lot of people putting in a closet, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 of these guys to power an entire whole home worth of audio. Because this is an integrated amplifier that can also rest on your network like the Prime Wireless Pro speakers. So you put this on your network and you can have each one of these be a zone. Like one power your outdoor speakers, one power your kitchen and dining, another one do speakers in your patio or wherever you're going to be putting them. And you just name them as such, and then you get into the DTS Play-Fi app or use AirPlay 2 to do multi-room, multi-zone and stream them everywhere. But one of the other benefits of this product is that it's not just an amplifier, it's also a streamer. So if you have an existing product that you would like to bring high-res streaming onto, maybe you've got a downstairs living room that you've had the receiver for a few years and it doesn't have all the high-res streaming services that you use, and you're tired of using Bluetooth and you want to get some high-res, this is how you do it. So you would connect to this, and then on the back of the amplifier, there are left and right audio outputs that you would then jack into your existing system. And now this is just another source component with all the high-res capabilities. But one of the fun aspects of that too is the speaker outputs are also active at the same time. So you could use this to run a pair of speakers outside and then have a line level out going to another zone maybe, or to that receiver. And it's also got a headphone jack on the front too, so if this is maybe a tabletop or a desktop solution, you've got that. And then for those people that are going to be putting this in a rack, in a closet or anything, we've put an IR extender input on the back, so you can still take advantage of all the remote options, because like the SoundBase Pro, this does have the remote capabilities. This does have HDMI 2.1 with eARC, the front panel display, the presets, and everything we talked about too. So you've got all of that right here in this package. So we're going to be in the $700 ballpark, just like some of those other guys that are in this space, but with a lot more options, connectivity, power, and more functionality too. So.
Honestly, I've never reviewed this, so that definitely might be something that that'd be cool to make some content for you guys. And
yeah, it's a great product. I've had the existing pieces around the house forever. Since we've had, this has been a 4-year-old category for us, and now we're just kind of revamping it a lot. But I've got them on the bedroom. That's what I power. I have a pair of Ultra bookshelves in my bedroom in lieu of a soundbar, and this is what's connected up to my TV, just over an optical cable. And whenever we're watching TV, we do that, and so it's great. And what you get here is a little more control than the Prime Wireless Pro speakers, because the subwoofer output here is fully open. So the other one sets up a crossover on the speakers. It doesn't do that here. So you can still run your speakers at full range and then just adjust your subwoofer accordingly.
Unboxing the SoundBase Pro, I found a little surprise. The guys at SVS hooked me up with one of their SoundPath HDMI cables. Appreciate that, fellas. Now below that, there's some paperwork and warranty information. It's well packed with foam as well as a really soft cloth to protect it during shipping. The SoundBase Pro looks super sleek, has a very small form factor, and a host of inputs on the back that I'll cover more in detail later in this video. You'll also get a remote control, power cable, as well as batteries. And the guys even hooked me up with some SVS swag. On the front left of the unit, you'll find a source selection knob to cycle through the various inputs. Pressing the knob will allow you to adjust the brightness level of the display. To the right is the volume knob, and pressing the button will pause and play your selected media. And at the bottom we have 6 front panel presets for one-touch access to your music service and playlists. On the back we have a pair of speaker terminals, 2 sets of line inputs, an HDMI input with ARC, a service port, Ethernet connection for hardwiring your internet, and power. At the bottom is a subwoofer out, RCA out, Toslink input, IR extender, and buttons for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth setup. Setup of the SoundBase Pro could not have been any easier. I connected an HDMI cable from the eARC input on my TV to the eARC input on the SoundBase Pro, then my speaker cables with banana plugs to the speaker outputs, and lastly the power cord. I downloaded the Play-Fi app and connected to my streaming services. In my setup, I use both Qobuz and Spotify Premium. The SoundBase Pro integrates with most of the major music platforms. However, Apple Music does not appear to be supported at the time of this video. You can disable the platforms that you do not use by going into the settings, then music services, and toggling off the services that you do not need. Now, one really cool feature is if you have more than one SoundBase Pro, you can label them in the Play-Fi app according to the room that they're set up in, and even group them to add whole house audio throughout your home. Whether you prefer to connect via the Play-Fi app, AirPlay 2, or even Chromecast, the SoundBase Pro provides up to 24-bit, 192 kilohertz of high-resolution listening. Now, as Larry mentioned, you can have several of these installed in one location and then run speaker cables to each set of speakers in different rooms, and then use Play-Fi or AirPlay 2 to stream music throughout the various areas of your home. Now, believe it or not, we have not had a TV in our living room for the past 16 years that we've lived in our home. Up until a few weeks ago, we only had a 2-channel setup, and in full transparency, we might listen to music maybe once every few months. I know that's sad, right? So after installing the 85-inch Hisense TV and the SoundBase Pro, we've actually been enjoying this system almost every day, especially through the holidays. Now, one thing that greatly contributes to that is its simplicity of use. So by using ARC, the TV remote turns on the SoundBase Pro, and it even controls the volume. So last week, after I got off the live stream, Jessica told me that she turned on the system and watched a movie herself. Now, this may sound like a very trivial thing, but that's a big deal to me. So even though I've made this theater room very easy to use, I pretty much have everything controlled through the Harmony Elite remote with one-touch operation. Jessica still finds it intimidating. But with the SoundBase Pro, she can now easily listen to music on YouTube, Spotify, or even watch her own favorite show without my help. So when I first unboxed the unit, I was curious how it would handle powering my Klipsch RF7 version 3s. Now, these are big tower speakers with dual 10-inch drivers. To my surprise, it actually powered them incredibly well. Now, during Christmas, we would play different Christmas playlists on Spotify throughout the day as background music. And whenever Jessica stepped out to do some last-minute shopping, I let her rip to see what it was capable of. I would slowly crank it up, even approaching max volume. But at no point did the SoundBase Pro exhibit any signs of strain or feel like it was running out of gas. The 150 watt by 2 amplifier provides plenty of clean power for my 2-channel setup. Now, I am a bit curious to see if adding my Acurus A200 amplifier to it will make any difference. But I have a feeling I'll likely be selling it, as it may no longer be needed, plus it'll free up some space in the entertainment center. Now, although at $699, I wouldn't really consider the SVS SoundBase Pro inexpensive, but I do feel that it offers an incredible value when compared to its competitor, the Blue Sound Power Node, which is $949, and it only has half the wattage of the SoundBase Pro. Now, one thing I would have really loved to see on the SoundBase Pro is tone controls. Although my Klipsch RF73s have dual 10-inch woofers, I do like to boost the bass a notch or two when listening at lower volumes since I do not run a subwoofer in my 2-channel setup. Now, simply put, the SoundBase Pro is an incredible high-resolution streamer that's easy to use, has a hefty amplifier to power most speakers, and a plethora of inputs for your various components. To me, this is a perfect fit for my living room setup, which is why I've already contacted SVS to purchase the SoundBase Pro for my setup. Now be sure to check out the links down in the description below for the SoundBase Pro, as well as other SVS products. And as always, you guys be blessed, and we will catch you in the next video.